Did you know that the average North American consumes about 250 pounds or 113 kilograms of meat a year, and that by choosing one day a week to eat meatless meals, you can reduce your consumption by about 35 pounds a year? What a difference a day can make! You can't even begin to imagine. Making this one small change in diet can have a dramatic effect on a variety of social and environmental issues that we face today. Let me explain 10 reasons to go vegetarian one day a week. One of the most significant environmental impacts of a meat-eating diet is the depletion of natural resources, most importantly the consumption of huge amounts of water for livestock production. It takes 9,327 liters of water to produce 1 pound of beef, and yet it takes only 94 liters of water to produce 1 pound of wheat. Human water consumption drains aquifers around the world, water tables are dropping, and wells are going dry. 40% of our water goes to irrigate crops to feed the livestock for human consumption. Scientists estimate that if changes in diet do not occur, then by the year 2050 there will not be enough water to support our food demands, and the world population will be forced into a vegetarian diet to sustain life on the planet. If one person ate meat-free one day a week for a year, they would save 317,974 liters a year. That's like drinking 1,742 bottles of water a day. Raising livestock depletes other natural resources as well. Conventional farming methods use oil-based fertilizers and pesticides for crops, and fuel is needed to transport and refrigerate the crops to feed the livestock and the meat to feed the humans. If we look at it from a caloric point of view, it takes 40 calories of fossil fuel to produce 1 calorie of protein from meat, while it takes only 2 calories of fossil fuel to produce 1 calorie of protein from tofu. By choosing a meatless day one day a week for a year, you can save 59 liters of gasoline. It may not seem like a lot, but imagine if every person in Canada or North America made the change. Food crops for human and animal consumption need topsoil to grow. When animals are packed into a small amount of space, topsoil erosion increases. Adding to that is the erosion caused by the crops needed to feed the livestock. Once the topsoil is gone, it can take hundreds of years to rebuild even just a couple of inches. This natural resource is being used faster than nature can replace it. It is estimated that due to agricultural farming for the production of livestock feed alone, we lose almost 7 billion tons of topsoil every year. One person eating a vegetarian diet one day a week for 1 year can save 12 tons of topsoil from erosion. One of our most precious natural resources is the rainforest. Millions of acres of land, which was once rainforest, are used for livestock grazing and to grow crops to feed these animals. According to the Nature Conservancy, every second of every day, 1 football field of rainforest is being destroyed. It is gone forever. What's even worse is the fact that with each square foot of destroyed rainforest, 30 different plant species, 100 different insect species, and dozens of bird, mammal, and reptile species are destroyed. These rainforests are home to half the species on the planet and are vital to the world's oxygen supply. Choose to eat a vegetarian diet one day a week for 1 year, and you can save 7,700 square feet of rainforest. That's a significant environmental impact. Now let's talk about the crappy deal this earth is getting. Animals poop a lot. Millions of tons of waste, in the form of manure and urine, are produced by livestock each year. In the Gulf of Mexico, there is a 7,000 square mile dead zone when there is no aquatic life due to pollution from animal waste and chemical fertilizers. Livestock in the U.S. alone produce 2.7 trillion pounds of manure each year, about 10 times more than produced by the entire American population. Canada isn't far behind. You can cut down on the amount of crap you are leaving on this planet by almost 400 pounds if you just choose to eat meatless one day a week for 1 year. The waste from livestock factory farms gives off a toxic combination of gas made up of ammonia, methane, and hydrogen sulfide. Imagine the smell if you live near these places. Animal farms are responsible for 73% of the ammonia released into the air. The ammonia reacts with other gases and causes respiratory problems and contributes to smog and acid rain. Methane may be the most dangerous gas given off by livestock, and the meat industry is the #1 source of methane throughout the world, releasing over 100 million tons a year. Methane is a gas that traps heat in the atmosphere and causes the Earth's temperature to rise. In fact, methane is 20 times more powerful a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. Eat less meat, reduce methane production, decrease global warming. Emissions from animal agriculture and livestock production contribute to more greenhouse gases than all the cars and trucks on the planet combined. Did you know that it takes 7 pounds of grain to produce 1 pound of beef, and almost the same for both chickens and pigs? That amount of grain can feed an individual in some developing nations for 6 months or more. A full 1/3 of the world grain output is used to feed livestock. If you made the decision to eat vegetarian one day a week for 1 year, you could feed the hungry with 245 pounds of grain. Eating your veggies could help feed the world. That would be a day to celebrate. Saving the life of another individual is an incredible accomplishment. Now think about saving some of the lives of over 10 billion animals that are slaughtered each year for human consumption. This figure isn't even worldwide. It is simply the number of animals killed in the US to put meat on the table. The majority of these animals have no laws to protect them from abuse and cruelty, and spend their entire lives suffering in inhumane conditions and mistreatment. If slaughterhouses had glass walls, we would all be vegetarian. Perhaps eating meat less will allow you to choose meats that have been humanely raised and humanely killed. Let's just call it happy bacon. Our oceans are feeling the impact as well. They are polluted and overfished. A report in the Journal of Science claims that by the year 2048, we will see a near collapse of the oceans if we continue on the course we have set for ourselves up to this point. We can no longer be blind to the environmental impacts that our dietary demands are placing on our small, fragile planet. Eating a vegetarian diet once a week for a year can help to save our planet's oceans and the sea life that exists within its depths. Now, we cannot forget about the impact a vegetarian diet can have on our own health. A vegetarian diet, even just one day a week, will help reduce your risk of heart disease and certain types of cancer. We all hope to live a long, healthy life, and health is derived from many sources: the food we eat, the choices we make to reduce stress, the environment, and our happiness. I know that being able to make a difference, to leave a lighter carbon footprint on this planet, makes me happy. As Ezra Klein of the Washington Post says, going vegetarian might not be as effective as going vegan, but it's better than eating meat, and eating meat less is better than eating meat more.